Hi everyone, today's video I'll be showing you how I did this manicure with the gorgeous Chromeleon Multi Chrome pigments by Sugar at socialclaws.com, and I'll be showing you how to do the accent nails basically. If you've seen my previous video where I show application of the chrome powders, it's the exact same application. I'll show one nail in this, so for those of you who haven't seen my other video. So you have two different kind of 3D looks here. You have kind of like the droplet one and the bubble kind of effect here with pigment over those, and I'll show you how we did that. So you'll need your pigments. In this case I used Circe and Chimera are the two colors that I chose for this one. They have similar shifting qualities, so that's why I thought they would look good together. You will need a black base coat. These always look best under a black, but you can certainly experiment with other colors. You'll need a no wipe top coat. My favorite is Accents, and I will be using that. Plus I got a sample here to try the Luxa Shine, and it's a pretty good no wipe as well. And you will also need a matte, and I like this matte very much, the Luxa brand as well. It is a true matte. It's not a satin finish, it's a true matte, and I really do like this. So you'll need a matte as well. And to get the polka dot effect here, I did use nail vinyls from Twinkled T is the brand that I used right here, Twinkled T. And I use their, they call it their bubble design, and we'll be applying that for that particular nail. And to apply, I did use my number 2 flat chisel. In this case, it was my extra firm, but you can use a soft. It doesn't really matter. These apply like butter anyway. These are very, very silky smooth pigments. And to over the polka dot design, after I got the nail vinyl on, I did apply that second coat of pigment with a sponge. It was just easier to apply it that way. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll be right back. All right, so our sample is out of the lamp. Once again, I've done one coat of the black gel polish and one coat of the Accents Shine On. And now we're ready to go ahead and use our silicone tool, and we're going to go ahead and just take a bit. This is Chimera, and again a gorgeous, there's so many shifts to this that don't show up on camera that you really do have to see in person. I mean, you can see it on the nail, how it goes from kind of a bronze to a magenta to a green, gold, just so many different dimensions to this. So let's go ahead and get started with this. You don't need much. I'm going to simply dip my tool in the pigment. You don't need any more than about this much, maybe a little bit more as you go along. This really does apply very, very silky smooth. Now, as with any pigment, you do need to take care to leave a perimeter around the nail, just a very, very slight perimeter with no pigment. This will help the top coat adhere better when you top your when you put the top coat over the pigment. Hopefully will be less chipping. So get that, leave that very, very slight perimeter around the sidewalls and around the tip. Burnish in and get a full coverage on that nail. You can already see how that's starting to color shift, and we're not even done yet. Now, Angela provides these finger cots in with your pigment, and I would suggest using them. If you don't have any gloves, this is a lot smoother than a lot of the gloves that you may have. And the reason for this is you're going to burnish further the pigment coat. This is going to get off any residual particles, and it's going to lay that metallic particles down flatter, and you're going to get a much smoother, much more metal look. So go ahead and use that finger cot to perfect your surface here. Once you get that perfected, as you can see here, really quite pretty, you're going to go ahead and top coat that. I'm going to go ahead and get the top coat on, cure it for the manufacturer's suggested time, and we'll be right back. All right, our sample is out of the lamp and with the top coat. So this is ready to apply our vinyl, and I've already peeled off one of the vinyls here. Now I will admit these were a little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with, only because with curves of the nail, it just seemed to not want to stick as well. You might have to work on that a little bit, but go ahead and apply your vinyl to your nail. Adjust it to make sure that all of the little areas are going to lie flat. Otherwise, if they don't, you'll get seepage underneath, and you don't want that. And one of my All right, once you get your vinyl on, we're going to go ahead and apply the shiny top coat. I'm just going to use my Luxa here. It doesn't really matter which brand, as long as it is a no wipe, because you are going to be putting pigment over this. So just make sure that all those areas are secured down. Now for this, you don't want to flood the area. You want to almost have a concave look to this, so you kind of retain a little bit of a 3D. So yeah, just apply the top coat sparingly inside the circles, and try not to paint over the entire vinyl. That'll make it a little harder to release once the gel is cured. Once you have all the top coat into the holes there, you're going to go ahead and cure that for, in this case, this top coat requires 1 minute and an LED, so we'll go ahead and do that. And be right back. The sample is out of the lamp, and I'm going to take Circe, which is this right here. I'm also going to use a makeup sponge for this. It'll just make it easier for the application over the vinyl. You're going to dip your sponge just to pick up a little bit of the pigment. You don't need a lot again. And you're just going to rub it right over everything. And just as you did the first layer, we're going to use our finger cot to help smooth and perfect that surface. Make sure we get all of the residual particles off of this. And once you've done that, you're ready to peel that off. Now try not to touch the pigmented areas. It does help to kind of pull it to the side rather than up, as far as being able to get the entire vinyl to come off. And you can generally, any of the vinyls that have a little bit wider spaces between the cutout areas tend to do better than any fine-lined vinyls. I've found that out the hard way. And there you have your spot design. Now you may find some kind of rougher areas or where the top coat's kind of sticking up. If that's the case, I'll zoom in here so you can see. If that's the case, then go ahead and take some nippers, and you can nip off any of the edges that are kind of sticking up. Try not to take off any of the pigment. So once you've done that, now you're ready to go ahead and top coat that. All right, there we have our nail out of the lamp. You see that very nice contrast between Circe and Chimera. So there's that one. Now we'll move on. This one is a lot simpler. I went ahead and top coated with the matte, so I did the Chimera pigment, and then matte top coat, two coats, because this is going to be basically your final layer, except for the dots that you're putting on top. So 2 coats of that to protect Chimera, and this is still quite a shifty pigment even under matte. And on my tile here, I have simply put some of the shiny top coat on that. I'll just add a little bit more. So just a little dot of the shine. No wipe. I don't want any of that dispersion layers from other top coats interfering with the matte quality of the nail. So that's why I use the no wipe. And I'm just going to go in and make various sized dots on the nail, whichever is your preference. It is a top coat, so it will spread. So if you would like to do a little flash curing between coats, that's certainly a good idea if you want to keep those dots separated. So I'm just flash curing that for a couple of seconds and then continuing on. All right, and there you have that nail out of the lamp, and you can see that how pretty that magnified color shift is under the glossy dots. Very pretty. And once again, this is Chimera. You can do, if you decided to do it over Circe, this is what over Circe would look like. Circe is equally pretty, maybe not quite as shifty under matte as Chimera is, but still equally pretty. So here are the 2 accent nails with the gorgeous Chromeleon pigment. There's also other designs that you can do. Just a few examples here. If you're going to use the bubble ones, there's several ways you can use that. You could do it like I did, where it's just a subtle difference between the 2 pigments that you're doing, or you can do more of a contrast between the pigments. Trying to get so where the color's not blown out here. You can also just do the dots over the black. Put your vinyl over your top coated black, and then do your dots after that. You can also do tone on tone, where you're using the same pigment color for underneath as well as your dot color. That's a nice subtle effect there. You can do hand-drawn as well. I did a few over Nocturna I did a simple scroll design over Nocturna with the No Wipe top coat. And this one I did a simple print, hand print, drawn print with the clear, and then I used the Chimera pigment over that. Still produces a 3D effect. If you use the pigments but you don't want to use the top coat, almost like a stamp, you can do that as well. Very pretty effect with that as well. So there's just a few of the options. I also did a honeycomb one. I'll show you this one even though part of the sticker, the top coat lifted off of it, but I thought this one was quite pretty. My lighting isn't the best right now for some reason. So there is the honeycomb shape. I did this in silver and it looked almost like a hammered silver kind of look. It was really pretty. So there you have it with the different pigments. Once again, the ones I used here are Circe and Chimera. There are 9 different pigments in a set. I believe it's a limited edition. She might be sold out of those. But you can't go wrong with these. These are cosmetic nail use. Unlike the automotive pigments that I used in my previous video, these are made for nails. And I think Angela did a fantastic job getting the type of finish that she wanted on this as well. If you have any comments or questions for me, just go ahead and leave them down at the bottom, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.